Hey there, blade lovers. OG Blade Reviews with you once again. I got Tenable on the table today. Tenable is a child company, if you want to call it that, of concept knives. This is their budget line, much as Civivi is the budget line for Wii. And Sencut is the budget line for Civivi, if you want to look at it that way. Kind of a three-tiered approach, but this is a two-tiered approach. And also, very often, Tenable is making exact duplicates in lower cost materials of the higher end concept design. So, same design, same designer, different materials, and will cost you in many cases $100 less or more. Let's see what the label says. So, this is the Einar or Einar. I'm not sure exactly how it's pronounced. I'm going to guess Einar is a truer pronunciation. It's a Justin Lundquist design, very well-known knife designer in the knife community. And it is from Nitro V, and this version is with blue micarta. I want to thank Tenable once again for sending me this blade to review and examine. And I did get to pick it out. So the color combo is my own choosing. There we go. So this is the Einar, and we're going to open it right up, let you take a look at her, and zoom in a little bit even. So it's on the small side. It's like a 3.13-inch blade, and I'm going to just show you a little about the design. The name Einar carries deep cultural significance, symbolizing warriors who died in battle and ascended to Valhalla. And you can read more through the link I'm going to provide you. And there's a little bit about Justin and how he got started in knife making and knife designing. Interesting story. So I'm not going to get any deeper into it than that, other than to tell you that this same knife also comes in these colors. So there's the blue, there's a green with a black blade, and there is a brown with a plain blade, stonewash blade. And there's a very fancy, for $10 more, Tenable Einar folding knife, carbon fiber, white carbon fiber handle, and with a black wash. So those are the possible models to get if you don't like the blue micarta. I'm not particularly partial to micarta, but I just felt it had kind of the cleanest and the nicest look. It's a very light knife. We're going to weigh it up in a moment or two. It's got a deep carry pocket clip on the right side only. I'm sorry, you lefties are out of luck. Why they did that might have been cost savings. I'm really not sure, but it is almost a complete deep carry. Got a barrel spacer there. You can see the weight relieving holes on the inside, that skeletonization. You can see that it's got a hidden liner and a liner lock where you need to, you've got a little bit of a relief here, as you can see. So not that difficult at all to push aside and close her up. Very nicely tuned detent. Almost impossible to fail. Can we fail it? Yes, we can. But that takes a bit of doing. Just a casual, natural flip will open her up for you. Got some very interesting mill marks here, 5 hash marks, if you want to call it that. And then this kind of a scalloped faux bolster look there. Nice black pivot on one side, dished out a little bit. And the flipper tab provides you with a little bit of a guard so you don't slip forward. And the entire, not the entire, but part of the spine, even including the tang, is radiused. So we have that nice rounded look to that, as you can see. Very nicely done. And the jimping is rather file-like and very grippy. So those of you that have to have jimping on the spine of the knife, really, you're going to like that. The blade itself is what we call a drop point. It's got a very long clip, if you want to look at it in that regards. A very high grind all the way to the top there, and just a little bit there, and it drops nicely in the middle of the that drop grind there falls right in the middle of the sharpening choil. I don't think you're going to have any problems with smiles. I mean, if you're going to remove so much steel that it's up to there, you're probably going to want a different kind of a knife. I'm never going to get the edge up that high, but you know, perhaps you will. Again, very light, very snappy, easy to open and close, a little over 3 inches, very handy. Full 4-fingered knife with a little left over in my medium large hand. And let's get the tape out, shall we? Overall, almost 7 1/4. Going to call it like 7.2 overall. And they were saying 313. We'll call it a 313 blade length. The calipers out. Blade stock in millimeters, 2.8. Blade stock in inches, 0.12. Handle thickness, 0.48, under 1/2 inch. Finally, let's get my weight back around to grams, because I'm just one jump from grams to ounces. In grams, we've got 75.9, almost 76 grams. In ounces, only 2.67, call it 2.68 ounces. So we've got a knife that's an ounce per inch, easily. 3.13 inch blade and a 6.6 ounce knife. Really nice. You're not going to complain about that, lugging that around in your pocket at all. Wide open back, as I think I was showing you earlier, with 1 barrel spacer. When she locks open, I'm getting no lock rock and no blade play. Just a little bit of flexing. And you're going to get that on a lightweight knife anyway, but very little flexing. It's not going to be a pry bar anyway. I mean, this is a cutter and something you can also use for your point work, right? I think we can draw that point. You've got to bring it up to maybe 50 degrees in order to engage the point. Down here, you're going to be engaging the belly. And then we've got a pretty good flat right there. I got a few knives off to the side for compare. And one of them is another Tenable that I did a review on recently. Had it stored in the box. Not everything I review goes in the pocket. That would be way too big a rotation. So there's a few that I get going in the pocket. That's the Eagle Strike, designed by James Lowe of Australia. I reviewed that recently. Significantly bigger, about a 3 3/4 inch blade. However, it is also Nitro V. Got another knife in called the Shard that I'm going to do a review on from Tenable. The Shard uses 14C. This uses Nitro V. Some people prefer one or the other. You know, you may have your reasons. Knife Steel Compositions is a good app. If you want to get that, you can learn a lot more about the various steels. Here's one I reviewed quite a long time ago that's still kicking around. And this is from Mikkel Wilhelmsen Knives from Copenhagen, Denmark. Wonder what their tariff is these days. Yeah, expect that to have some effect on your buying of knives from out of the country, wherever they may be made. Italy, China, what have you. But this is called the Red E. It's a crazy gold anode knife. Just for size comparison and novelty to a degree. It's 14C. And that's way shorter than the Einar. About a 3/4 of an inch shorter overall, with the blade about the same. Got some, I don't know if that's real carbon fiber or that layered carbon fiber. Anyway, they're budget knives. Doesn't really matter. Got a thumb stud, and we've got a flipper tab. Mikkel Wilhelmsen does some very interesting designs. A lot of them are highly unusual, and a lot of them are sort of mainstream. I got to tell you right away, that's a much heavier knife by like at least double. And finally, a smaller knife that I reviewed recently, which is the Akita from Vostede. It's kind of a beauty. I think we got an aluminum handle going on here, and their Vancor pivot lock. Very interesting locking mechanism where there's a wedge on in a spring down along inside here that pushes its way into a slot in the pivot and gives you a very secure lockup. This one I think's S35, so yeah, a little more premium stuff going on with the Akita. Their knives are named after animals and dogs, by the way, if you hadn't noticed already. And it's exactly the same length with slightly shorter blade. So got a little more left over on the Akita as far as blade to handle ratio. And this is, by the way, perfectly centered. I haven't run into too many knives lately that come through in any other fashion. But we can see we've got maybe a bit more blade. Maybe it's just a bit more handle than the Akita. Actually, yeah, the Akita's got a little more handle. So about the same length blade, though. Like the pivot lock on Vostede. Really nice. And one final compare, why not? We're loaded with compares today, something more mainstream. Benchmade Griptilian. And the Griptilian's a good deal longer, about 1.5 inches or so, with a blade about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch longer-ish, something like that. I think it's about a 3.6, 3.65 on the Benchmade. Let's see if I can locate a piece of paper, see if we got any sharpness happening with this knife out of the box. All righty, there is paper, and there is the Nitro V blade on the Einar. All right. Yep, trying to get it to go all the way through for you. It's sharp. It's sharp. Not bad at all. Could be a little sharper, yeah. Maybe put it on the old strop to start with. Very easy to do if you don't strop your knives. That's a really good way to keep them sharp, maintain the edge, so you don't need to redo the edge. If you need to change the bevel angle, well, that's up to you. You want to bring it from 20 to 17 or 25 to 20 or 22 to 20 or whatever. You might like this for a knife where you can get 10% off and pay about $54 off that $60 retail from White Mountain, where I have that discount code OG-Blade. I've noticed that Tenable also has a 10% discount code. You just need to give me your email address or something like that, and they'll give you the code. I don't know what it is offhand. But thank you again, Tenable, for allowing us to see this newly released knife called the Einar, and I believe that's how it's pronounced. designed by Justin Lundquist. Be well, take care, and click my logo over here right now, and you will be directed to where you can subscribe if you haven't done so already. Be well, take care, stay safe.